Origin destination of cycle routes in Aracaju, Sergipe, Brazil. The NGO Ciclo Urbano was founded 10 years ago in 2007. Ciclo Urbano came about to discuss, rethink, and organize questions about the use of bikes at the city and state level. The objective is planning cities for people through actions, research, and projects that makes possible a future with more sustainable urban mobility and improves a quality of life for citizens. The results were presented to city administration in order to improve the politics around urban mobility by bicycles, because the city does not track or collect data about cyclists, but only for motorists. So that's why Ciclo Urbano tracks cyclists. Aracaju is in northeast of Brazil and is the capital of the smallest state in terms of land size. It is a planned city with a population of 640,000 citizens, an area of 182 square kilometers, and a density of 3,500 people per square kilometer. This is a cycling map of Aracaju with the different lane types. There are separate protect, separate painted, shared, and future planned paths by city administration. Shared paths are basically regular roads, but with signs reminding drivers to share the road with bikes. Aracaju is on the Atlantic coast at the mouth of Sergipe River and has the ideal cycling climate between 24 to 30 degrees Celsius year-round. With when it rains, it's usually for on-field time. Origin destination of cycle trips in Aracaju is first of its kind for complete coverage of all neighborhoods within a Brazilian city. From June 2014 to June 2015, all 39 of Aracaju's districts were surveyed proportionally by district population, based on Brazil's official 2010 census. A total of 1,001 questionnaires were completed. This project provides the basis for improvement to a cycling transit system in Aracaju that prioritizes investment in paths with greater flow of urban cyclists and minimize conflicts between cars and cyclists. Ciclo Urbano coordinated the research via volunteers. Team training, planning, and survey approaches were decided at meetings. Ciclo Urbano identified the need to update information of citizen cycling trips on weekdays. Aracaju cyclists confront conflict situations that could be minimized by adapting and improving a cycling transit system. Urban zoning, district details, socioeconomic aspects, and planned government projects were taken into account as well. This research project was done to establish a foundation for future investments in roads with greatest flux of urban cyclists, interlinked by origin and destination, making it easier to mix modes of transit. Here are some key results. Based on bike type, 7% were cargo bikes, while 90% were normal bikes. Of the cyclists interviewed, 88% were men and only 12% were women. Cycling in Aracaju is dominated by males, so it's necessary to look for incentives to increase women cyclists in Aracaju, including more research and interviews in the future. The purpose for cycling was also measured. 61% cycled for work, 14% for leisure, 7% for shopping, 6% for school, and 12% other. Among the reasons why they cycle, 39% for health, 19% because it's cheaper than the bus, 14% because it was the quickest way, and 28% for other reasons. This origin destination map is divided by neighborhood, representing the percentage of people who live or work there. The interview were from 3:30 p.m. to 7 p.m., when most people are leaving work and going home. The first map, in shades of blue, presents the percentages of origin districts of the cyclists, is where they work or shopping. The second, in green, is destination, their home. Also, there are people traveling from other nearby cities to Aracaju and vice versa. The blue 5% other cities are people cycling back into Aracaju from their jobs outside the city, and the green 80% other cities is cyclists leaving the city to go back home. The higher the percentage, the darker shade of blue or green, allowing better spatial visualization of where people work or shop and live. These maps overlay cycle paths to help us visualize and connect flow to paths. This is net percentage by neighborhood was home minus work. A green positive number means more people live there than work, and negative blue means more work there. Neighborhoods near to city center had net zero and blue negative numbers, whereas most outer neighborhoods, especially in Northwest, were green positive. We also asked which cycle paths and neighborhoods were hardest and easiest to help us identify improvement. Almost all of the separate protect lanes were viewed as easy, so riders generally feel safe if there is a barrier between them and the car. The paths which were found hard usually did not have a separate protect lane. The ways and districts believed to be more difficult present greater conflicts between the modes of transport. No signaling or continual off cycle paths, generating insecurity for cyclists. Some further insights and recommendations. To increase overall ridership, this likely can only happen if there is a reduction in accidents, which can be achieved in two ways. First, continual public education on sharing the roads between pedestrians, bikes, and automobiles. Second, to improve cycling access to existing bike paths in order to reduce the fear of cycling in busy city streets. According to the data, it is possible to identify the diversity of cyclists in Aracaju in various economic sectors. That's why we believe all companies should encourage their employees to go to work by bike. Students should be also encouraged to use the bike to go to school. Cycling education lingo is to be expressed in familiar terms and easy to understand diagrams, so that the common citizens can understand. The average citizen has a low level of formal education. The school is an easy way to educate lots of youth about cycling. Bicycles are present in the majority of families without cars, and is the principal medium of transport for them. Due to increased automobile traffic, cycling is a viable means of transport. There is a grand demand of people who would replace their cars with bicycles if there were better cycling infrastructure. Cyclists leave their bikes in free parking zones and in public areas, but many expressed a great need to increase the number of bike parking spots. Cycling among youth as well as adults over age 30, especially women, could be increased by extending the cycling path system while improving both the quality and security. The results form a foundation for future planned studies of a cyclotourism system that meets the population needs and combines existing and new cycle paths defined on Plan MOB. There are subsides to plan a cyclotourism system in Aracaju with friendlier conditions using cyclist information. Origin, destination, place, gender, age, family income, job sector, bag type, reason for travel, means of parking, easiest and hardest cycle paths in Aracaju. This data is intended for the city of Aracaju to be used accordingly for development of municipal public policies related to cycling. The origin destination data mapping will help Ciclo Urbano best choose the location of where to invest in new lanes and improve current lanes that would yield a higher cycling impact. This research indicates that if it improves the security, access, and quality of our cycle paths, it could drastically increase ridership. Aracaju demands latest designs in cycling infrastructure, such as designs on parking stations, bridges, drainage, lighting, cycle path material, lane size, intersection crossings. Feel free to email Ciclo Urbano with any ideas, websites, and resources that could help the NGO improve the quality, security, and design of cycling infrastructure of Aracaju.